The weekend is finally here. Hello, I'm Philip Duncan. Thanks for joining us. So we're still tracking these two big weather systems, the large high to the south, the big low to the north, and it's a weak low. So between the two, still got that windy easterly going on. There's a bit of a cool nor'easter coming down the coastal side of the South Island, and to the north, subtropical winds still coming down from halfway between New Caledonia and Northland. So it is pretty mild stuff coming in to the upper North Island, and that will spark a few heavy downpours here and there. So let's take a look at the rainfall for the next 2 days ahead, just generally, and the areas in pink will be seeing the highest totals. So around 45, 50 millimetres still yet to fall. The areas that you see in the orange and sort of red colouring, you're around about 20 to maybe 40 millimetres of rain. And in the other areas, the main sort of lower features will be the areas in yellow and green and the blue there, which is this part. So just a few showers or just a little bit of patchy drizzle around those areas. So overall, still more rain coming, which is probably a positive. But I don't know how you feel about it being at the weekend. So Saturday, that low, which is weak, but it's getting kind of big still in the same shape as New Zealand. So it's going to stretch from Northland to Southland as low pressure, and the winds are going around it like that. So pretty light clockwise winds. You'll feel a mild-ish breeze to the north of the country. It won't be quite as subtropical as it's been, and in fact, it loses the subtropical portion as we go through Saturday. The eastern side will be mild at first, but you've got some wet weather in there. By Sunday, the low's getting a little deeper now. It's growing in between the high that's departing and the next high that's trying to come in. So you'll notice on Sunday the colder winds blowing in, the rain on the west coast, which will turn to snow in the mountains and maybe some of the alpine passes. Rain starts to come into Canterbury as well later on, and the North Island has just a few showers with westerlies and in fact quite sunny and mild over in the east. But when we get into next week, that low gets a little bigger. It pushes the winds and makes them stronger at both ends of the country. So a wintry southerly coming in to the lower South Island on Monday, but it's still fairly mild with west to northwest winds in the north. But you can see that southerly coming into Auckland, into Waikato and Taranaki a little bit later on into the day. Now through next week, Tuesday sees that low get even larger. It's got a couple of centres on either side of the South Island. The dark blue line shows this cold air mixed into this. The South Island hasn't really escaped the cold air for a couple of weeks now, and the north will start to get colder as we get into next week. And our final map for Wednesday shows a bit of a change. Look at all that low pressure, not only around New Zealand with two centres, but then this big one with two centres as well. So there's a lot of low pressure moving our way. That should encourage, with high pressure to the north, more showers and westerlies coming in later next week. So it's a typical autumn setup and a typical winter setup at the same time. So it's a bit of both ends, especially with the windier westerlies. That's a bit more autumn-like, but the colder change this weekend, certainly going to feel more wintry. That's all from me. If you need to make sense of everything I just said, go to ruralweather.co.nz. It's New Zealand's largest weather data website. It's bigger than NIWA and Met Service, who you tax fund, combined. So we're pretty proud of that. And also weatherwatch.co.nz if you need the hourly information for your local forecast. Have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday.